I had one of those days recently where there was so much to do that I felt behind before I even started. I had just gotten back from a week-long Somatic conference, and stepping back into normal life, it felt like a lot. Everything I hadn't gotten to the week before, it was still there waiting for me. And part of me wanted to go back to bed rather than face the day. But instead of pushing through or shutting down or checking out, I decided to check in. I paused and I felt into my body. I listened for what it seemed to need and how it wanted to move in that moment. And what came out of that moment was a practice that I'm calling rooted tree. It's something that I just built organically with my body, and I wanted to share it as one example of how somatic work can support a sense of safety and resilience when things feel like a lot. Now, nothing about my day changed, but I felt more grounded, more connected, and that shifted both my perspective and how I move through the day. That's one of the things that I notice most about the nervous system. When we're stressed, everything feels more demanding. When we feel more resourced, the same day feels very different. So I want to share this practice with you. Try it, see what you notice for yourself. I've also included a link to my free Inner Compass toolkit in the description below. So if you want to go deeper into how somatic tools and awareness can support you, definitely check that out. And if you'd like more practice videos like this one, let me know and I'll do my best to create more. Stay tuned for the rooted tree exercise. I want to bring you a practice this morning. So our practices are a place where we can register a little bit of safety in our lives, right? So many of us, we have lives that are busy, that are constant, and we're always taking in information from the outside, right? And our system is registering that information. Is this safety? Is this a threat? Right? And so often we don't have enough of those experiences that register within us as safety. And so we're just out there, we're threat, right? And the system doesn't know the difference between a tiger chasing us and a deadline at work or too many demands on our time. It doesn't know the difference. It just registers threat. So one of the beautiful things that we can do for ourselves is create pockets of safety where our system can downregulate and can feel like there is safety in our world. And that's something that I work on every single day. And one of the things that we use our practices for, it's not the only thing, but it is a really lovely thing about our practices. So as I was thinking about this morning, checking in with myself and kind of recognizing, wow, there's so much on my plate right now. And it just kind of keeps coming at me, and I don't have as much control over my schedule as I like. And that registers for me as a threat. So as I was checking in with that, I kind of took a second to close my eyes and just feel into that feeling of what it feels like to have so many demands, to not be able to kind of control my environment as much as I like to. And that's something that, we're all going to face from time to time, because we don't have complete control, most of us, over what happens to us or for us, or the things that we need to take care of, especially when we have kids or aging parents or many of the other things that are part of our everyday life. So as I was tapping into that and kind of just checking in and seeing what my body wanted to do with that energy, it started to sway. And that sway got a little bit bigger. And I followed it, offering the option. And I would invite you to try this on with me. My feet are about shoulder width apart. They are firmly planted. I'm focusing on my feet, really spreading into the earth. and feeling the support of the earth underneath me. And as I drew my attention to my feet, I realized they were kind of curled up. They were kind of grasping a little bit. And so I decided to try on what would it feel like if I allowed them to spread out and settle. And that gave me a little sense of being a little more firmly rooted, a little more secure in the earth. And as I stayed there for a few moments, I should say, I had the urge to bring my hands into the movement. And pretty soon, I had branches. And the branches reached up. And then they wanted to sway. And what I noticed is that my trunk wanted to be very fluid. I wanted a lot of movement in my trunk. And that swaying continued for a little bit, maybe 3 minutes, till my arms got tired. And as I was swaying, the image that came to mind was a beautiful springtime tree with its blooming flowers. But it was moving as though there was quite a bit of wind. But I was also very aware of that firm support of my feet, grounded, anchored into the earth. And I thought, what a lovely image this is. Life is like the wind. It's asserting its pressure and its needs on me. But I am the firmly anchored tree that can move and flow with what comes my way. And this exercise, as long as it feels good to you, may be something that your system registers as safety. And I notice as I continued that practice for a few minutes that I feel differently. I feel a little more resourced going out into my day. Oh, that's right. When something comes up, that's right. This is the wind a little bit. This is the breeze taking me here, taking me there. But I'm solid. It doesn't knock me over, right? It doesn't cause me to tumble. I have support. I'm anchored. And this practice, however long, however your system might want to try it on, is one of the many, many things that we can do to give ourselves a little pocket within our day, within our lives, that can register as safety within our systems. And the other thing that I really love about this example today is that I didn't turn to a prescriptive practice that said, take in and hold for 4 and do your breath and then let go for 4. There's nothing wrong with those things. Nothing wrong with those things at all. But when we can really hear from our system and respond in an attuned way to what it seems to be asking for, we create practices that are so rich and so helpful in the moment when they're happening, right? And that's a beautiful attunement that we offer to our bodies and to ourselves. And so just keep that in mind. There's always that possibility for you of just becoming quiet and asking the body, how do you want to move? And now I have a practice for this little season in my life that I can turn to, come back to over and over, and provide myself with something that I need. Now, of course, I'm going to pay attention to my day, where I can modify, how I can support myself in the real life circumstances of the day-to-day. Of course, I'm going to do that. But having this practice gives me the opportunity to meet that with a little bit more capacity, a little bit more resilience. And so that doing both things, right? Fortifying myself and also making sure that I'm paying attention to how I'm organizing my life and how I'm supporting myself as I go through the demands, the requirements of my day. And that's really what we want to be thinking about it from both directions, right? So thanks for swaying with me. If you want to learn a little bit more about somatics and how they can support you in your life, I've created a resource called the Inner Compass Toolkit, and you can download that below. And there's some other practices for you to learn and to modify and to make your own. And I just encourage you to give yourself a little space in your day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, where you're starting to try these things on and bringing your body and responding to your body into your day-to-day life. It's going to be something that can really start to feel supportive for you. So try this on. Maybe try this on for 3 or 4 days and then come back, leave me a comment, and let's start a conversation about what you notice. What blocks did you encounter? What beautiful moments did you experience? This can be a really beautiful way for us to deal with the demands and the constant pressure of life. I look forward to hearing about your practice.